Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome from the Yorkshire town of Leeds in northern England. I thought I'd just do a few minutes just to give you a bit of a feel of what's happening in our penultimate leg of the 2022 Globe Light Tour. So while I'm kind of getting a little bit of a vibe from what's going on here today, it also gives me an opportunity to introduce you to who writes and draws all the stuff on our grounds when we go around from town to town. So Lisa, who's been doing a lot of work while we've been hanging around the stand talking to people, including things like poetry and that sort of thing. Take a look at this. So there's our stand there to the right. Got a good group of people over there in a minute. I'll go over in a minute and I'll kind of introduce you to everybody. But so this is where you'll find Lisa. This is her website, and you can check out all her work. You know, it really is worth doing. She puts a lot of effort into it, and it should encourage people to take a little closer look for themselves and all that sort of thing. The kind of message we're trying to pass on to people, which is not, take our word for it or anything else. But, you claim something to me, then I'd like to see your proof of it. So come and show me that proof and let's have a talk about it. And also it's okay to question stuff, because we should. We don't do enough of it. Anyway, so let's get back to this. This is a piece of work that Lisa started writing when we set up just before 12 o'clock today, called Proving the Globe. And what I'll do is I won't read it all to you. You'll be able to follow it when you read it back on my channel. I'll just get my finger out of the way. But what I'll do is I'll just scan over it with my camera, and you can read it yourselves, because I don't have a particularly good Jackanory voice on me today. Got the sniffles a little bit. Hay fever before anybody starts reporting me to doctors. Right, so anyway, this is what Lisa has been working on today. It's now 10 to 3, so it's about 3 hours. It's taken, roughly. I don't know if you can read all of it, what I'm writing there. We're going to try our best to get some sort of photograph done today where we can get the whole thing on one picture. I'd like to know how we're going to do that, but so whether you can read it or not, I just wanted to show it to you, really. Pretty impressive stuff, I've got to say. She's very patient and just gets on with it. And please do look back on, I posted a load of stuff on Facebook and Instagram under my name, Sven Pillay. Please do give that a check out for the last 11 days. I've always posted the pictures that Lisa has been drawing, depending on what town we were in. And there's some brilliant stuff amongst it, it really is. Anyway, cooler day today, by the way. Barely 20 degrees, which is half the temperature it was 3 days ago, 2 days ago, whatever. Anyway, I'm just kind of hanging around over it, so hopefully you can get to read a bit of it. Sorry, buddy. And this is the thing, really. This is what the whole tour was trying to achieve the whole time. It's not a question of preaching or anything of the sort. It's about reminding people that they set their own parameters. Authorities don't do that for us. We do that for ourselves, but only we've forgotten how to do it, because we're so used to doing what we're told. And that's where you end up in the pickles that we find ourselves in right now, and upcoming ones that I'm sure are just around the corner. Anyway, so I just thought I'd bring that to you, just so you have a little kind of picture as to how we set up, if that makes sense. So if we're lucky, Lisa can be right next to literally where we are. Sometimes that's her there, and sometimes she has to then do her drawings maybe 100 yards down the road or whatever. So yeah, so this time round we were quite lucky. That was Nora just then. She's joined us today. Yeah, I'm not going to put cameras in people's faces, but just so that you can sort of see who's around. So we've had a few people come down and see us today, including Lucy came today. Just don't see her there. She'll be joining us for today and tomorrow in Preston, and then of course tomorrow is the end of the road. There's Jason there doing his rounds with his new hat. Well, it is its new hat now anyway. Yeah, Harry there, and that's today's stand there. One thing I've noticed in Leeds is that there are a lot of old world / hidden history buildings, and with some of them, well, quite a lot of them actually, I was just going to say a lot, so I'll stick with that. They have kept their Antiquitech on the top. I've taken a load of photos earlier, especially from the building across the road called Corn Exchange. If any of you want to Google that or whatever, check it out. Some amazing architecture and Antiquitech on the top. It appears to me that they've left a lot of the original structure in place. Yes, they've added cladding because they do, but yeah, very, very fascinating on that level, most certainly. Yeah, we've had the usual interactions today, really. We've had postgraduates coming up telling us that they're postgraduates, in other words, we know nothing. We've had people ultra-religious telling us all about religion, and of course, through that, suggesting that we know nothing. So of course you have to be either you have to either have a master's, be a professor or a doctor, or a priest, or belong to some sort of religion before you're entitled to an opinion on anything. And of course that just adds to my argument that the world is bloody well upside down. You know, because we can trust our observations, like I said to the lady in Plymouth. We can trust our senses, we can trust our instincts. The problem is we've been put off doing so. That's one of the major issues. But anyway, I'm not going to go into a philosophical sort of monologue on that right now, but yeah. So we're trying to kind of encourage people to get out of that way of thinking. It's not about rebelling against everything, it's about asking questions on serious topics that affect us. Affect us really in a deep way. Not whose God is better, or, you know, whatever happens to be the trendy cause of the day. No, this is something that will accompany us forever, and we will either remain in the dark by not asking questions, or we can shed some light on stuff, including on our own knowledge, A, by ridding ourselves of all the crap and indoctrination that we've been subjected to, and B, adding some good knowledge to that, listening and all that sort of stuff, seeing where people are at. Yeah, I'll be looking forward to doing a roundup video with Jason and the others, because we've got quite a bit of feedback to kind of relay.